Welcome to Outside the Box Open Forum tonight here with your host, Kid of Gaia, and that's me. Yeah, the low voice doesn't suit the face thing. Yeah, you know that one. And of course, Tony Z, when he shows up on the board, rumor had it he was going to be here. So I'm going to stick with the rumors, and just got to do one quick post, and I'm going to unmute a couple of people that have called in here. 1 and 2, get you guys into the show here. There we go. Tonight's going to be a rather interesting evening. I'm hoping that Dean Clifford will show up as well, because rumor had it that he was back where he needed to be, and we'll hopefully get him on the air. But anyway, how are you guys doing?
I'm good.
Good.
Good. Okay, I got some weird stuff going on there. That's okay. Yeah, it stopped.
So who do we have on?
Well, I know we have Jim. And well, I'm not sure. I can't hear anything from area code 614.
That's me. That's Mark Fishman.
Oh, Mark, I'm glad you came in. Awesome.
I didn't recognize the number. I wasn't going to make a guess.
What's that?
That I didn't recognize the number, so I wasn't going to make a guess.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Jim Palmacino asked me to call in.
Well, that's awesome. Glad to have you, Mark. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, yeah. We're going to go at a kind of a low-level pace here. You know, this is for recently awakened people and also for us hardcore old schoolers. 'Cause that's the majority of our listeners. People that have been around for a while. So, but we wanted to go over some basic scenarios and just different situations. To try to alleviate the fear of those that have just, got rid of that first level of fear and said, oh, well, I've had enough of this. And, the ones that aren't quite ready to look on the barrel of a gun. The ones?
Oh, yeah. Guns aren't necessary. We can peacefully walk away and tell them, go pound sand.
Exactly. And Tony is here. Tony, we got you on the board.
Hey, how's it going, Kate?
Good. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Just trying to catch up with the massive amounts of stuff that I haven't
you
tended to recently.
Yeah, you were a little sidelined there for a bit as far as access and what have you. So I leave my computer for an hour and I'm devastated with work when I get back. So it's yeah, I can't imagine. So there you go. But
hey, Kate.
Yeah, go ahead, Jim.
I'm just kind of curious. Because I don't think Mark's ever been on the show before, but was Friday night like a record as far as numbers?
Oh, well, it was about 100,000 shy, but yeah, it was a good night for us. It was just 40,000.
Well, that's good enough.
It's
getting around.
That's a good show. No, we do have a very good core of listeners that can't tune in every night, but we're running good numbers, which is an indication. It's nothing to do with stats or look at us. No, what it is for me is an indication of how many people are awake and how many people are, quote, tuned in. Not necessary to us, just tuned in. That's what I'm interested in. That's the reason why I look at the numbers and get excited. Whoa, it's not like, oh, look at us, we're starting. No, screw that. Anybody knows me in any way, shape, or form knows exactly what I'm saying there. Not interested in that. What I'm interested in is knowing that we have a beautiful, large base of tuned-in people, planetary-wise, and this is worldwide. We have people from all over the planet, of course, and the Internet's just that beautiful thing that does that. So it's just a great indicator that if one little show like ours can do that, can you just imagine? We get more of us, and things go viral, and it's already going exponential. And that's what I'm after, the exponential consciousness, the awakening, and going, hey, good, now we've had enough, all had enough, good, now let's just stop this. So there you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
That covers it, eh?
Yeah, just a bit. But like I say, it's getting to the point now where people are beginning to wake up and stuff is beginning to flipping move. They're paddling like idiots trying to keep up, and we've got to actually get out there and start waking up your brothers and sisters now. It's we've not got time to mess around.
Well, the good news about that is I've had a number of conversations over today and over the last couple of weeks, and it's really, really interesting to see, people that literally, we had one individual call in that woke up 2 weeks ago, and this guy was on the ball. So what's happening here? And I say awaken is to finally, rub the sleep out of your eyes and go, we're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. I think we're in Oz. And that's what I refer to as awakening. Just that things aren't exactly as you thought they should be or as you, thought they were. It's when you start realizing that all the governments and religions and courts and cops and all the rest of it's all corrupt, right? It's all, let's take out of our pockets and give to them game. And the game is over. That's done. And they know it.
Yeah.
And also we have people that I've talked to that have, showed up and, caught a Santo Bucci video or a Bill Donahue or one of Johnny Guzman's or whatever. And I've had over 30 contacts on Facebook alone today. From people just like, wow, just caught your show or been listening to you for a month or two and finally get on Facebook and whatever. But I'm getting this beautiful tapestry laid out before me of what's really going on, what the pulse is and what's happening with people. And, talking to people that have just caught on to what we're doing, 4 or 5 months or a year, what's really got me excited is most of the people that are tagging me right now are within the last, half a dozen months. And it's absolutely fascinating to see this, like, explosion, if you will. It's, I was talking to Tracy earlier today, and we were talking about, people with egos and whatever, and kind of have this little motto of, when it comes to egos, it's like poke, 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 boom, I just poke the ego until they blow up, right? And
hey, Kate?
Yeah.
For the benefit of Mark and for newbies, why don't you kind of give just a basis of what we're basically talking about?
Oh, okay.
I think that would be beneficial for everybody.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure, Mark doesn't know us from Adam, probably. And give you a little background on me. And then Tony can give a bit of background on him. This will probably help as far as anyone that's new here. With myself, my quest started a little over 3 years ago. And ended up, in the first year, I think it was the first 6-7 months of really going at this. I found myself in court recording the Judge Bows to Sovereign video, standing in this video. And of course, that one went a little bit viral, and of course, I was in a slightly different mode at that time. I looked entirely different. But anyway, from then, for me, it was constant attacks from system, being targeted, tailed, pulled over constantly, hassled at all levels, up to the point of them SWAT raiding my home, kidnapping me at gunpoint, spending 28 days in the military for daring to, prove that all their laws were bullshit. And here we are. And I've been on the air for over 5 years now. Started an FM radio. Volunteer. All the radio work has been volunteer. I've never taken a dime in pay from anyone on a corporate level whatsoever. Anything that ever has came out of my own pocket, first and foremost. And that's substantial. And of course, what people have been able to flow to keep us at zero. I was having a laugh about that today. Tony and I are just happy to be at zero, and Santo as well. As long as we got shit covered, we can keep going. And there you go. So that's me. Tony, you?
Yeah, sure. How can I start? I just started learning stuff years and years ago about what was going on in the world. Started searching information on free energy. Realized there was tons and tons and tons and tons of different people with free energy information. Cutting a long story short, I found out about UFO reality and lots of other realities that were just sheer, absolutely amazing me. And I was like, oh my God, this world is nothing like I thought it was. How come I've been asleep for so long? Anyway, cutting a long story short, they took one step too far, and they took out a member of my family, my brother. So I decided to say, right, you bastards, I'm going to write a book, and I'm going to put it all in the book and get the book out there. For people that have either started to wake up or think they're awake, or even, just to double check, I would go and grab a copy of the book. The book can be found on Syncrenicity with an E.com, and it's free to download. So, there's no excuse for not going and getting it and at least passing it out to people. If you go to Tony Z on Syncrenicity, at the bottom of the book there's a link to Awake Conscious Awareness website where the book's available. So I released the book and proceeded to then go on do several interviews and TV interviews and stuff. Edge Media, Sky TV and various other bits and pieces, talking about what's actually going on and talking about the information that's in the book. Because there's loads of cures that, are out there, and I say the right word, cures. Basically, I just blew the lid on loads and loads and loads of things. Because people need to know. They need to know what's going on in order to make an informed decision. And the problem is people think that they know or thought they knew, but guess what? So did I before I started looking. I thought I knew. But it isn't until you actually look where you go, oh my God, this is a totally different picture than we thought. And the rabbit hole just gets deeper from there. It's like, yes, we have free energy. Yes, we have anti-gravity. I know that's not a very accurate term, but the point of the matter is we have faster than light or superluminal light speed travel. We have fleets and fleets of ships out there, which is, nobody's telling you that on the BBC. And the reason they're not telling you is because they don't want you to know. The reason they don't want you to know is because they've got a plan. And the plan is all about getting everybody microchipped, stacked, and enrolling everybody in this slave society, if they're not going to take us all out first, which is another area I was looking at today. We've got the Royal Society of London that's just gone public about basically there are too many people on the planet and we've got to have a mass die-off. And this is the Royal Society's own words, and I'll post a link to this into Synchronicity website. But yeah, they're lying about overpopulation, they're lying about the technology, they're lying about oil, they're lying about energy, they're lying about money, they're lying about law, they're lying about everything you could possibly imagine, religions, they're lying about those. The politicians are lying, the government's lying, and they're keeping everybody in the dark. And that's...
Well, I was actually hoping Tony would, actually let loose tonight.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this guy Vince that kind of prompted the subject tonight, wasn't it Vincent?
Yeah, Vincent. I believe you're in the call now. Yes.
Anyway, I was thinking that maybe. I was thinking that maybe Mark might want to give a little background of himself too.
I was going to ask you, Jim, is it okay if I host my own show, because that's where I was going next? I'm just going to ask for permission, from you, if that's okay. Mark, I was going to ask you, dear friend, could you give us a little background on you, please, because we don't know who you are. Oh, Jim.
Sure. I'd be happy to.
You're awesome.
Round about 2004, thereabouts, I had a run-in with the IRS, with the corporation that I own and operate to make a living. And to make a long story short, found out, the taxes were never ratified, aren't legal, blah, blah, so on and so forth. Went to my accountant in 2005, went through all this crap with him. He said, hey, I'm not going to support you in that. Said, okay. I settled with the IRS, but it set me off on a path to find out what the hell is going on. And about 2008, they came back again and went after me. And this time I sent them a letter with a counteroffer, and they went away. And I'm scratching my head going, is that all it takes? You just have to counteroffer these guys and they go away? And I continued studying, learned we're not the name. This whole system is fake. Everything about the world that we thought was true is not. There's so much technology and so much being hidden from us that it's absolutely insanity. And just followed all kinds of rabbit holes, basically. And now I have a website, notacitizen.com, where I share missives, ideas, I got sample documents for those that are having conflict. I do the talk show. I've fired it back up, and I'm doing that every couple of weeks, Tuesday nights at 8. That's linked off the website. If anybody wants to listen or join, that's fine. And basically that's it. We're not the name. We don't have to be the name. They're administrating our USA front, which we forgot about. And, you know, you live here. The Creator put you here. You got a right to an equal share of everything. And what's the question? What's the problem?
Is the problem. They kind of go, it's our sandbox, and we're going to steal all your Tonka trucks and Barbie dolls and screw you. And, you know, when you make a counteroffer, 1,000 to 1 in terms of numbers of us versus them, they back down rather quickly. And now we're going to go to Jim, because I want people to know who Jim is and what tweaked you. And Jim, you there?
I mean, mine goes back all the way to about 1990 or 1991, and I received a flyer in the mail, and it was concerning the IRS, and that was the start. And I've been down all the rabbit holes, but now I think that we're finally coming to the realization of discovering who we really are. You know, I came on to you, Kate, Santos, Tony, multiple others. I came on to Mark, and it just all seems to be coming together. And I'm excited to be here. And when I can put somebody else new together with somebody else that's on the same path, that's my job.
Exactly. And Jim, I was just joshing with you. I'm trying to keep the show light. We have fun here, eh? You gave me a setup that was perfect. Sorry, I go with it. I'm Irish. Hello.
Oh, I just figured that Mark would be
absolutely.
Get in here.
NotACitizen.com. Yeah, we talked quite a bit about that on Friday night. And again, and this is about how you handle yourself when you actually start knowing who and what you really are versus what you have been assumed under Lex Meritorium to think you are. And it
exactly.
It's all presumption and assumption, and I don't let anyone assume anything of me. For a whole lifetime, everyone assumed I was a guy. But I figured that one out and show them. But anyway, do you see what I'm saying? This is one of the reasons why I come at people and say, I'm just a clue. Can you kind of pick up on that? It's not. Everything isn't as it appears. You might want to look a little deeper. Hey, perhaps ask. And that's what it is, asking and counter-offering and what have you. And we don't play the court games and what have you. Well, Tony will say this. He says this all the time, and I like to reiterate it as much as I possibly can. Where attention goes, energy flows. So we just kind of go, well, we're not going to that concert anymore because the music sucks. We're going to go to this one now, and that's it. You pay for your ticket in your free will consent to be presumed and assumed to be a fictional name the Crown owns that was given away because in terms of a relationship, but I'll give some people some background here. In terms of a mother-father relationship, you can look up under Ward of Admiralty and Blackstone Ninth, which is the code book of code books, and you really know how to read it. It's not a dictionary. It's sort of like that, but it's actually a very, very special book when you learn how to walk through it. Ward of Admiralty is very simple. The mother is the fiduciary because she's the one building three bonds, the blue sky bonds, which is your birth certificate, and then the ones that follow it are the bid, performance, and payment. Up here in the Great White North, they refer to as Canada. It's bid, labor, and performance. And I like to kind of put the analogy of the bonds of the mother and father going into contract, and then later it's contraction, of the baby, right? Contractions. Right, so they go into contract. The marriage is already owned if there's a license, so any contract made within that marriage are already state-owned anyway, so it goes even before the birth certificate. But let's just stick to, what we have. Right, so with the birth certificate, or with relation to the parents, what you really have there is the mother's fiduciary of the trust. She's the one building the constructive trust. I'm going to show you universal natural law and how it's been papered over. Right, so she spends 9 months with a very, 9-month vested interest in building this trust. So there is a perceived, as the definition says, a perceived inequitability in that the mother has a greater claim on constructive trust because she did all the construction, all the building, and she's the one that delivered the product. And the father, because of that perceived inequitability, that's right in the definition, the semen is regarded as the beneficiary. So what you have there is mother fiduciary building the constructive trust, father is a beneficiary, and they both give away, with the birth certificate, the fruits of their labor. You see, so anyone that claims to be a beneficiary or an executor or whatever, you need to just kind of reevaluate that a little bit and start seeing what's going on here, how the paper has been wafted right over top of all natural law, because I was looking for how are they getting the power of natural law within this fictitious bullshit, and that's been my trail from day one. And just for your information, Mark, British High Consulate absolutely confirmed that any use of the name is utter fraud, because it's not yours. It was
absolutely.
Your parents gave it away.
You have no hand in the creation of that name in their system.
Nope.
No hand whatsoever.
Well, I have a hand in mine. I changed it, but I didn't do it legally. I just did it.
Well, but that's not the name registered in their system.
Nope.
The name registered with the birth certificate that they send to you, they want you to use, but you shouldn't use it. It's not yours. You don't have a damn thing to do with its creation.
Oh, and Mark, something that Jim mentioned, telling a story of, and I'll get you to go over this. When you got pulled over is a story, how it goes, and you gave them the birth certificate, and your statement to this guy was very simply, or it could have been Jim did this, I'm not sure, but handed over the birth certificate, and what's this? Well, that's what your government gave me. You see,
right.
There's no contract there.
Your officer gave me.
Yeah,
your officer, they're a registrar office.
Hey, well, the key thing is, well, you gave it to me. Here it is, you know. Got nothing with it.
This is what I have from your system that you gave me. You can take it back. Here you go.
And they don't, and they certainly don't want that because there's no money on that.
No, well, and they have to have a license to show consent to be compelled to follow the traffic law.
Exactly.
So I don't have a driver license anymore. All I carry is a birth certificate. If somebody wants to identify me, well, I've got a non-identifying document from your officer. How can I help you? I can identify me.
I really want to. I want to drill this point home, Mark. Like, this is, for me, the pivot point that people need to get. When you go and get a driver's license or a social insurance or any of these other things, when you, out of your free will choice, go and get these contracts and documents, you are aiding and abetting in your own fraud. What the difference?
Well, you are. And what's the question that they always ask at the window when you're getting one of those? Here in the United States, they say, "Are you a U.S. citizen?"
That's presumed again.
No, but they specifically ask you, and if you don't answer yes, you cannot get a license. When mine expired, I went back into the DMV, and they said, "Are you a U.S. citizen?" I said, "No." And they said, "We can't give you a license." "You're not a U.S. citizen?" I said, "No." They said, "Well, then we can't give you a license." And I said, "Okay," and I left.
Yeah, and in a nutshell, again, there's the presumption. I'm really, a beautiful example, and this is why I want to drill this particular point home. You need people to get this. When you go out of your way, even when you get one, you are, and this is for everyone listening, when you go out of your way to go and get a license, you are going to an intention, okay? That's your spiritual realm. That's natural law, because nothing happens without your own intention. So if you choose to go and get one of their documents, you are actually removing that assumption. And what we have to do is keep that assumption there where you can deny it. No, I don't have that. So you can't assume that I have it, because I don't. And when you're dealing with a government document they gave you that, as you've already stated, and I've said 1,000 to the 9th times, that is not you. It says right on mine, not to be used for identification purposes. Right on it, warning. It says warning, not to be used for identification purposes. Okay, good idea. I won't do that.
They tell you everything up front. We just are idiots.
Oh yeah, and I want to talk a bit about notaries as well here. See, one of the things started running into issues, And it was as we were peeling these layers off. It's going back a couple of years. But the simple truth of a notary, if a notary, first thing they're going to ask you for notarizing a document, well, can I get some identification? Well, for me, it's like, well, you can't see me. I'm standing right here. I gave you that document. It's mine. I'm claiming it as mine. Could you? But the point is, if they ask you for identification, and you know who you are, they're actually committing fraud. They're aiding and abetting you in committing fraud because they're not notarizing a document for you, they're notarizing it for governments. And it's pure utter fraud. So that's why a lot of people have started running into problems with getting things notarized. Santo Bonacci, prime example, 2 different locations, a couple of hours away that he tried, and these are notaries he knew, and they would not notarize Identica Ultimatum, and that was it. That's going back a year ago. But
you know what? If you want to issue something as the living man, you can just get 3 witnesses. You can get by with 2 from the mouths of 2 or more, so it is.
Yeah, the 2 or more. It's right.
3 is better.
Well, it's right in one of the big rule books called the Bible, right? When you understand that code, you start really figuring stuff out, right? It says when 2 or more gather, there you go.
Right. The Old Testament is how we got into trouble. The New Testament is how to get out. If you look at it, really, that's the deal. It's a book of commerce.
Yeah, absolutely. And nice to hear you say that because I run across very few people that actually get that. New Testament or Old Testament gets you into trouble. New Testament gets you out. It's all there. And people think it's a book of religion. It's not.
It's also astrotheology. Santos knows about that.
Yeah, biology, science, physics, the construction of the universe. It's all in there. And Tony, jump in on this one regarding a code book and the individual that we talked about the one day about breaking that code and find your actual name kind of thing in that book.
Yeah. Where to start? I can't remember the individual's name. Can you?
No, it's lost. We went looking for it too, and we got to get this guy on.
Yeah, absolutely. Basically, there's a rabbi that managed to crack a code that's hidden within the Bible. It's something like every 6 letters. You put in a computer code, and it reads every 6th letter, and in certain ways. It's all based on the first original 5 books of the Bible. But anyway, this code was revealed, and it started spelling people's names and dates and stuff like this. Anyway, it tells you a lot of these things. 9/11 was in there, and it had got... the point of the matter is people's names are in there. One name that the guy found was Yitzhak Rabin, and it was also closely associated to a second word, which was assassination. And also, I think there was some kind of a date or something in there somehow encoded. And anyway, this journalist, this guy went to speak to a journalist who knew Yitzhak Rabin or could get through to him, and they went and warned him that in the Bible code it says Yitzhak Rabin will be assassinated, basically, by gun or whatever. I can't remember all the exact details, but nonetheless it was him. He tried to warn him, and he wouldn't listen. And lo and behold, Yitzhak Rabin was gunned down. And all of this was encoded into the Bible. Which is, that's only one example. There are many, many others. I understand Obama's name and assassination is also in there now. I believe, what was her name? I can't remember. There's a coloured lady, quite famous. I can't remember who.
Indira Gandhi?
No. The name's on the tip of my tongue, but anyway, she's all over TV and stuff. But anyway, so this is when Obama's now got himself a whole group of security guards for life, in case you didn't notice. There's all sorts of names that are encoded in the Bible, plus the deaths, plus all sorts of other aspects of this. But what it does do, and it fundamentally goes completely 360 degrees full circle, when you understand that we've got real time travel. And that is the way that somehow, some way long ago, these books were encoded with this situation whereby everybody, is encoded within the Bible code. And that's the only thing that makes it come completely 360 degrees. It's like all this is pre-planned. It's already encoded into the Bible. It's what will happen unless we do something about it. In other words, this will roll out unless you change it. And that's what it actually says if you overrun the code. It's up to you to change the future, basically. So we decided we would, didn't we, Kate? And I can see you hitting that freeze key.
There it is. Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry. I was just tagging back and forth with Santo. He's going to be joining us shortly.
Nice.
Oh yeah, we bring them all. We bring everyone to the table here. We love feasting on truth.
Well, Kate, like what I said to you the other night. When I listen to Boris comes out and he says, that other side that we consider is the evil side. No, that was put there by the Creator for us.
Yeah, to wake up and learn and grow.
To wake us up.
Yeah, you got to love.
They're not evil. Yeah, they're not evil. They're put there for a purpose. We just got to learn how to deal with it.
Well, yeah. Again, it's about all things for a reason, and when you take that the way you should, like quite literally, you have to understand that it's up to us to understand the why and what it is we are trying to learn, and the answers that come out of that are fundamentally not what you expect, but exactly what you need. It's some of us have to go through some serious turmoils. Maybe we're just looking for bigger answers, and who knows? But with me, it's my path has always been unconditional love, and what I have learned is an exponential level of that, and it only gets better from here. That's the neat thing, and when you start understanding it, you're still, even with the ones that have done the things they have, you still have that aspect of pity, hoping that they wake up to their own purpose and snap out of it, and come back around where totally. We can get together back on the right path, all of us, so purpose served, let's move on, and we're here to save ourselves, and as I'd said many times before, we're here to wake them up. We're here to wake, in our own awakening, to wake them up. It's an ebb and flow, right? It's a give and take. It's a balancing, magnetic, electric. It's all of that. And when you start seeing the big pictures, you start seeing this movie that we're living in for what it is. Don't get caught up in the drama of the movie, guys. It is just a movie, just a ride, I think, as Bill Hicks used to say.
Yes, indeed.
Get over yourself. It's okay. I love you. It's perfect.
Yeah, it just takes a whole lot of digging to realise it, but when you do realise it, all you get after that is affirmation after affirmation that you are exactly on the right track. It's like, holy cow, hell of a ride.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but the synchronicity I have in my life is just insane. It's like off the charts.
Well, yeah. Well, we can't. Tony, what's the website called?
Synchronicity, I think.
Yeah, Syncrenicity.com. Yeah. We're on that page. Yeah. We love that page. Isn't it great? Yeah, when you start seeing the yellow brick road and the Hansel and Gretel breadcrumbs that you left for yourself in the pre-sent future, that's where we live, in the pre-sent. So everything around you is already built. It's already created. It's past. It's over. I watched a comedian today who was talking about that. He says, why are we working so hard? Everything's built.
Yeah.
But here we are, just continually destroying and really there's, a prime example, you've got millions of homes that are lying empty right now and people on the streets. Are you kidding me? You got people going hungry and this planet could feed itself 1,000 times over, and they're talking eugenics. Are these guys stupid? Good point Dean Clifford made on Monday night when I was on with Santo and him. It says, look at the fear porn, Department of Homeland Security. Now they're denying that they have these bullets, but anyway, who cares? They're talking about 2 billion, 44, I think it's 44 caliber hollow point, right? Rounds, and that's fear porn. Are you kidding me? The beautiful example is this. Here you have the supposed most powerful military in the world, and they can't beat Afghanistan? Are you fucking kidding me? And you're worried about Department of Homeland Security, useful idiot squad? A bunch of jarheads? Are you kidding me? Come on. There's no fear there. That's a joke. Here you have, look, the most and I hate going to guns because, quite frankly, I wish every gun and every weapon that was ever built was destroyed and put back, hammered back into the plowshares and things that are actually useful were gone. That's a pipe dream, but here we have a populace, like 340 million people in the United States alone. One of the most heavily armed populaces on the planet, outnumbered probably in the range of 1 to 5,000 to 1. Are you kidding me? And you're talking about drones? Come on, guys, do the math here. And you'll start realizing that, it's just fear porn. Look what they've done. They've got the Sandy Hook false flag. They had Aurora false flag. They had that Chris Dorner L.A. rogue cop false flag, and they're ramping the fear up because they're beat and they know it. And
that's all they have, though. That's all they have is fear.
Yeah.
So that's what they use because that's all they got.
It's a pretty empty quiver when you stop and think about it, and that's what they're looking for: quarrels, arrows, right? That's what a quarrel is. That's what a quarrel is, people. It's an arrow. So quarrels and quivers. Let's just empty the quiver, get rid of them, and it's all good. Oh, Santo's ready, so I'm going to pull him into the call here. So get ready. Here comes Santo Bonacci, and here we go. All right.
Okay, you've gone a bit quiet there, Kate. Not sure quite what's happening or whether it's my end or what. Can people hear me in the chat room?
I can hear you, Tony.
Okay. Kate seems to have disappeared there for a second.
Mark, are you still there?
Santo? Okie dokie.
Mark, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay.
Hey guys. Looks like Kate's lost a bit of a connection there, or something's happened untoward. But anything you guys wanted to mention, wanted to talk about?
Go for it, Mark.
Okay.
No, just talk. Just speak your piece. This is an open forum.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, what you have to remember is you had no hand in the creation of the name with the registrar. So when you were born at the hospital and your parents filled out the birth registration form, they filled it out as witnesses to the event, and then they sent it into the registrar's office. But what you don't see is the hospital also sent in a form. So
Okay.
they had 2 forms to match up. Okay, did you want to say something?
Yeah, you were saying about the 2 forms. Hang on, Kate.
Right?
Yep. Carry on.
Oh, okay. So they had 2 forms to match up at the registrar's office when they received those. And then by operation of law, they create the name because they've got 2 witnesses. Remember, 2 or more witnesses is sufficient. So they've got their 2 witnesses, pieces of paper, they're dead things. So they create the name in their system and send you a certificate that the name was created. Now, you don't get the original paperwork. You get a certificate, which is a certification that the data contained on the document is correct and matches their record. It doesn't say it's all the data. It doesn't say that it's not all the data. It just says the data on the certificate matches. It's a certified document. But you didn't create it. You didn't have anything to do with its creation. So we got to stop claiming that. It's just that simple. Stop claiming that. If anything that has the last name on it, it's real simple. If it has a last name on it, it's not you.
Yep,
Your parents gave you the first and middle name. Some people don't have a middle name, but I think that's the exception more than the rule. But your parents gave you your first and middle name. They didn't give you the family name, or they would have had to stop using it if they gave it to you. It's like a trust. Everybody uses the family name. So if they didn't give it to you, how could it be your name? It can't. And when you make the claim that that's your name, you're making a claim to the only name by that first, middle, last, or first, middle, initial, last, or first, last that exists, which is in the system, which is the fake name that was created for you, that was registered as an estate on their books. Now, since you didn't have anything to do with it, you're not the trustee, you're not the beneficiary, you're not the executor, you're not the administrator, you have no relation to it whatsoever except by tort, where you force your way in. So just stop doing that.
Yeah, contempt of court. It's called law of belligerent. Look it up under law of nations. You might, and then you might want to go over to diplomat and figure out how that works.
Oh yeah, but that's all still man's law.
I know.
If we go back to God's law, we'll be just fine.
That's exactly right. Again, just want to. We're coming in at entry level people as well as people like us. We know that we don't play their game. Santo's here. Every time I pulled him in, I got bumped from the call. Oh.
Yeah, I'm here, Kate.
Okay. Oh, are you on speakers or headset?
Headset.
Okay, I'm getting some feedback. No problem. It'll level itself out. We have another caller too, by the way. So, just so you guys are aware, I'm going to bring everybody in and just find your space. So, and if you are not on the call, mute out so that we don't get any feedback. Okay, so there we go. Santo, tell us about your day.
Yeah, look, I had a lovely day yesterday. Family got together and at my brother's next door, and it was beautiful, just wonderful. Nice to have been surrounded by family. My son was there, and my sister, my brother next door, a few nieces, and just delightful to celebrate my 50th birthday.
Hey, happy birthday.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and before we got bumped off, and I figured I was still on the air there talking, and there have literally been thousands of well-wishers, and I'm still getting tags on a happy birthday I put out yesterday, and it's still going, and I don't know how many are there, and I can only imagine on your end of things, it's just been really, really crazy for you. But that's good, you know. That's what you get for changing the world, buddy. Get over it, you know.
It's beautiful, Kate. These are friends of light. That's all they're interested in. They're interested in light, and they are there for that, and that's what they get, and that's why people tune into these shows. It's all about light. We love the light. And it's shining brighter and brighter. There's no two ways about it. I did catch quite a bit of the start of your show, and then I got distracted by a call, but I heard some great comments there about how we are, defeating the powers that were with light, pure light, exposure. Darkness cannot stand. Darkness cannot even have a little corner in a room of light. It is vanquished the moment light is turned on. And so that's what we're doing, pouring it on, pouring it out.
So true, and obviously, I was introducing Mark to you, figuring I was on the air. Mark is from notaCitizen.com. It's the first time we've had an opportunity to meet, and we're all on the same page. And tonight was kind of geared for entry-level information, some higher-level stuff, and as Mark had just said there, as soon as we get back to creator law, as soon as we start, living the real purpose, and of course, with astrology in particular, understanding what your stars are testifying to you, we'll have a much better world. And I've been saying that for the last few days to people when we were talking. The one night, just a phone call we had, and you'd mentioned to me about, the stars, your chart, you're being testified to by the heavens themselves. And now it's like, there's my chart. Look at my chart and you will know me. and you don't have to, defend yourself. It's as it is written, so shall it be, and it's right there. And it was such a beautiful relief that you never have to worry about defending yourself. And those that have something not quite, cool in their chart, and maybe an ulterior motive, purpose, dark kind of thing, there's your, give me your, tell you what, give me your birth date and your time, your place of birth and everything else. I'll pass it over to Santo and I say, yay or nay. Just like that.
Yeah. Look, everyone can sell themselves off as something that they are not. Like your local priest, he's going to tell you about love and charity and everything like that, but you can rest assured that he will be abusing some little boy in privacy, behind the scenes, either emotionally, spiritually, or even physically. And they've been caught out. They actually go to that, stoop down to that level. We know that they spiritually and emotionally abuse young boys in the monasteries. They've been tortured in there with no parents and no one to listen to their cries at night. And so we've seen this hypocrisy. Oh, I'm a priest. Oh, look at this badge. Oh, what about the PhD on the wall? And what about the sworn affidavits in court? My character testimony said that I am godlike and I go to church and do charitable works. But the stars, they don't ever lie. Kate, this is what I'm going to prove one day when I get help to build a website, which will prove conclusively the science of astrology, and we will show how hypocrites who say they are one thing, you can expose them by the chart. Have a look at this, right? This is Firmicus Maternus 1600 years ago, and he's talking in his 8th book. This book's called Mathesios. I work from this book every day. Every single day I work out of this book, Firmicus Maternus. Anyway, on page 282, for all those who have the book, this is how 1 degree on your birth chart can make such a difference. 1 degree. This is what he says. Those who have their ascendant in the 1st degree of Aries, if a benefic planet is in aspect, will be born kings or generals and always lead armies successfully. If it is in the 2nd degree of Aries, they will be persistent thieves who always attack their victims with monstrous fury. They make their homes in foreign regions. If they're ascendant on the 3rd degree, they will be deaf, one-eyed, and stupid. If it is in the 4th degree, they will be thieves who will be caught in their crimes and punished by death. This is real science. We're seeing this happen around us everywhere. The difference of 1 degree is 4 minutes. 4 minutes on your clock. Every 4 minutes, the sun travels 1 degree. And you can have a baby born in 1 minute of twins, who is a leader of armies, and his twin brother, born 6 minutes later, will be a thief. Now, this is how astrology works. This is why the chart tells all things. That's why I put out, yesterday on my birthday, I put out my chart. And I said, there you go, folks. And I put some quotes in by my favourite astrologers, Thomas H. Burgoyne and Firmicus Maternus. That's all I've done. I've just put those two orders in there with my chart, and I've shown people what my 4 angles mean, just to show that I am who I say I am. And I've put a challenge to anyone who wishes to attack the holy science, or even me. I don't care how they attack me, because it's none of my business what they think of me. It's their business. And they will suffer with their opinion, or be blessed by their opinions. But I showed in my chart that, I'm pretty much exactly who I say I am. And I've posted it on Facebook, and I've offered a challenge to all the attackers. Let's have a look at your chart. Let's have a little sneak. Because Firmicus Maternus clearly points out that he can identify the chart of a pimp, the chart of a pedophile, the chart of a liar, And so I put that challenge out, Kate. That should easily be able to deal with the works of darkness, because we're here for light, and light is love. And in the Bible it says there is no law against love. Now, why is it that the badge types and the uniform types do not like the subject of our radio shows? Why would trolls be listening in right now from the government, and they're paid to do so?
Can I take a guess?
There is no law against love. We're in love and we are in light. We can never, ever be prosecuted for this. We can never, ever be condemned for this. We can never be attacked by decent human beings, perhaps by human beasts who pretend to be human beings. They don't trick the Creator, because He knows the difference between a human beast and a human being. The beast loves the darkness, serves the darkness, and is paid a salary by the dark forces. And that's the difference. Anyway, I mean, yeah, I'll stop there, because I've got enough passion about this subject of light and love. We shall never from now on be defeated. We shall never fear ever again. We are free, because we have light and we have love. And that's God. That's it. The Bible tells you that God is light in one verse, and then another verse tells you clearly, God is light. Hallelujah. That's all we are doing. We shall never be condemned. Let them attack. Let them have a go. Let them do their worst. It's all over for them, for the darkness is being vanquished by the light.
In grand fashion, I might add. And I can understand now, well, as before, and a lot more so now, the reason why astrology has been condemned for so very long, because of the truths that it contains. As Mary just posted there, the stars don't lie. They are your testifier. You have no need to testify for yourself, because you did that in your intent to come here in the first place, well before any birth certificate, well before any marriage. There it is. I mean, you said it the other night, I think. You pick the game you're going to play. You pick the chart. The moment you're going to arrive here strictly for that truth. And for me, this is probably the primordial truth that people need to understand. That there's no hiding. It's in your chart. So, and here's the thing: when you know it's in your chart, you know what you can fix. Yeah. Look,
when any uniform type asks me to tell them who I am, first they'll ask me for a name. Of course, I don't have a name, because being Aryan and knowing that I am already, my motto is already I am. That excludes any name. But I might rock up into court if they ever drag me in there, and I might bring my birth chart and say, look, Judgy Poo, my MC is in Gemini. And Firmicus Turnus, our good friend, lover of light, thousands of years ago, said that the MC in Gemini indicates an income from public or sacred occupations, but only the threshold of old age. The native will be a cultivator of the gods and religious rites, obeyed by a large number of citizens, a seeker after hidden things, knowledgeable in many skills and systems. In the last age of life, he will be pointed out for his upright and correct life. Yes, Judgy Poos, I'm living the correct life. Can we have a sneak at your little chart, please? And let's have a look at what's going on behind your cloak, and your lamb's wool headdress there, Judgy Poos. It's easy to expose them, Kate. It's not only by their works, it's by their charts. There's many ways to expose them, and they will be exposed, for there is nothing that has ever been done that will not be exposed to the light. And that's what the scriptures say.
So my next question for you, Mark, have you ever had your chart? Yeah, have you ever had your chart done?
No, I have not.
Oh, Santo, you want to have some fun?
Yep. Let's do
Okay.
it.
All right, Mark. You got the master. There's a few. Mary's another one. We got a few hot dogs in this game. Go ahead and be amazed at how beautiful you are.
Okay. What do I need to do?
Well, if you don't mind forwarding your details over the air, or you can put it in the chat and privately.
I don't care.
And yeah, okay. Way.
Okay, so what do you need?
Okay, birth date and time and place of birth.
January 18th, 1960. I don't know what time. 'Cause I was adopted when I was 4 days old, and I don't think my birth certificate has the time on it.
Dang.
In Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, I was going to say it's critical to have the birth time. That is the real key to the game.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Let me look at my old birth certificate, because I got the original they gave me back in 1960. But I don't know if it has the time on it or not.
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
Well, on a registration of live birth, it would definitely be there. Just checking, because it wasn't on mine. I knew mine based on a conversation I had with my mom on my 8th birthday. I was all excited about turning 8, and it was, I guess, about 20 after 8, and I said, "Hey, I'm 8 years old." And my mom looked at me and says, "Oh, not for another 20 minutes.
Yes.
At 20 to 9, you'll be 8 years old," and it stuck. So.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, and it does not have the time on it, and that's all I got.
Look, don't worry. There's plenty of information here. I mean, I can tell you lots of stuff about you, and this is the important thing you need to know. I can ascertain that your moon is in Virgo. Now, please remember that this is Western Hermetic tropical astrology. It's not sidereal. A lot of people will tell you that you're not a Capricorn, you're a Sagittarian because of processional slippage. Now, what I'm doing is not that. I'm doing traditional Western astrology. It's Hermetic. Firmicus Maternus tells you clearly that this science comes from Egypt, comes from Hermes. Period. All right. This is it's Hermetic. Now the Vedics, they do something different. They observe the processional slippage. So when you were born, the sun appeared in the sky to be in Sagittarius, but astrology tells you that it's in Capricorn. And I just want people to bear this in mind, because there are these two systems, okay? And I'm not saying that the other system's wrong. I see virtues in that system. But this system of Western astrology, tropical astrology, which means tropical means that it respects those cardinal points: March the 21st, June the 21st, September the 21st, December the 21st, the solstices and the equinoxes. And it suggests that, Thomas H. Burgoyne says that tropical astrology originates in Egypt, and they teach that it all has to do with the sun on the ecliptic. It does not have anything to do with the processional slippage of the stars. Everything has to do, for instance, when the sun hits the equinox every year, in the spring equinox on March the 21st, Aries begins. Regardless of the fact that now the stars of Aquarius are coming through, they're putting their heads through that equinox on March the 21st at 6 a.m. So regardless of that, right, it's tropical astrology is still 100% applicable in every aspect of your chart. So you have a Virgo moon. I can ascertain that. So you're a double Earth. Your sun is in Capricorn, your moon is in Virgo. Which means the ruler of your chart is Venus, because the next sign from where your moon was when you were born, the very next sign indicates the ruler of your chart. And so the next sign is Libra, ruled by Venus. So your ruler is Venus. Your modus operandi is love. So out of the 5 planets, and their actions are these. If your ruler of your chart is Venus, love is your mode.
Well,
if
that's
Jupiter,
consistent.
yeah, I'm going to show you a lot more that's consistent with you. You got a great chart, brother. I haven't started. I can tell you a lot about your chart already without knowing the time of birth, just by the angles and the aspects. Now, Venus, your mode is Venus, and if it were Jupiter, like mine is Jupiter. Jupiter, on the other hand, is more like judgment, happiness, very happy, happy-go-lucky. It's more like a friendly planet. It's a friend. Mars, and I've got Mars as a co-ruler. If Mars is the ruler of your chart, you are action-oriented, very martial and aggressive, combative, forthright.
Mm-hmm.
But you achieve lots of things with Mars as the ruler of your chart. If it's Saturn, you're a teacher. You're serious. You're feet on the ground, practical, but also a great teacher. Occult secrets come from Saturn. If Mercury is your teacher, the ruler of your chart, you're a thinker. Everything's about thinking, mind first. And you're also, you also develop the intellectual faculties. You're communicative, etc. So your mode is Venus. Now, this is the beautiful thing about your chart. Jupiter is in Sagittarius. That's a domicile, 5 points. Saturn is in Capricorn. That's a domicile, 5 points. These are very, very important points. These are dignities. These are essential dignities, which mean that your Jupiter and your Saturn are very, very well placed in your chart. They are very, very strong, meaning that you're getting so much good energy channeled to you through the good that you get from them, because Saturn is good in Capricorn and Jupiter is great in Sagittarius.
Well, maybe that's why I do what I do.
Yeah, it's a very powerful, great chart, and your lucky day is when the moon is in Virgo, brother. In the second day of Virgo, that's your lucky day. Your unlucky day would be opposite that in Pisces, but you can rest assured when the moon, follow the moon, and when the moon's in Virgo, you are one happy dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we weren't planning this. I'm getting people forwarding charts here.
Yeah.
Oh, you got them lit up, Santo.
Yeah. Well, this is a good thing if we can do a couple of charts every show, because we can only teach the science. It's all about teaching. I'm not here to. I've never been about just speaking so that words go over people's heads, and so that they have to come to me for fish. I know, Sandy.
Yeah, you didn't even need to say that.
I'm not going to participate in that scheme at all. That's a Ponzi scheme.
All right, well,
hey,
to teach people how to fish.
Hey, Kate.
Exactly.
Yeah, go, Jim. What's up?
Oh, I was just, you told me, you said, I'm going to send your info over to Santo.
And I did. I actually gave him your chart. I've got Rob here.
I just haven't heard it yet, so I was
curious.
Okay,
well, spew it out. Santo's on a roll. Hey, we might as well talk about the most basic truths of all. Who you are. Wasn't the lesson to know thyself?
Yes.
I got that in my family motto in the Thompson name, Noscati Ipsum, know thyself. So, are you into doing a couple tonight, Santo?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, well, hey, Jim, let her rip, buddy. What do you got? And then I'll see if I can grab Rob's. I know Brian's tagged me and a few others, but we only got so much time on the show. But
no, that's fine. That's fine. May 17th, 63. I don't know the time.
63. You were born a month after me, really. A month and a half after me.
Yeah.
Yeah, your 50th is coming up, yeah? For sure.
See?
Yeah, now, for the listeners that have got a browser open, you can check this yourself too. You know, go to horoscopeswithin.com. So, horoscopeswithin, one word, .com, and click on free birth chart and just follow along and see this for yourself. So, city of birth, please. Ron, is it Ron?
No, it's Jim. It's
sorry,
Kansas
Jim.
City. Kansas City. And that would be Kansas because there's two of them. But
yeah. Well, I'm going to cast this for midday, and I always do that. If I don't know the time of birth, I just go for about 12:30 midday, because then I can see where the moon is. If the moon is like, well in the middle of the sign, I can tell you what your moon sign is. Like the chart previous to this one that I did, the moon was pretty much right in the middle of Virgo. And the same in this case, your moon, Jim, is in the middle of Pisces, 11th degree. So at 12 midday, like if you were born right toward the end of the day, the moon would still be in Pisces. If you were born at the very start of the day, your moon, so you can safely say that your moon is in Pisces, okay? Now, that's a great moon to have when you're Taurian, because these are both feminine signs. Taurus is earth, Pisces is water, and they are definitely signs that love each other. Beautiful energy. I've seen a lot of relationships with Pisceans and Taurians, and they really kick it off really, really well. And so your inner reactive Piscean spiritual moon nature, I've also got a Pisces moon, 15th degree of Pisces, that gives you that inner watery emotional reaction nature. And it also can confuse you in your reaction. You know, you can be full of confidence in one moment and full of doubt in another, because the two fish, they don't have the same energy. There's always going to be the southern fish, the doubting one that says, I doubt, is going to turn up in your character. And the fish that's got his head toward the surface of the water, he says, I believe. You'll also be fortified by that Piscean nature of belief. When you believe in yourself, no one's going to stop you. I know that because I've got the Pisces moon. And when you believe in yourself, and I love... speaking when I can, when I'm in that mood, because I do also doubt myself. So I've got to watch that, and you do too, Jim. But you've got a beautiful placement for Mercury right next to the Sun in conjunction, and Venus is in Aries. That's nice. Wherever Venus is, she gives beauty. So when you look at yourself in the mirror, thank your stars that Venus is in 28 degrees Aries, because if it wasn't, you wouldn't have been as good looking as you are, even if you don't think you're good looking. Venus has saved your looks. Yeah, wherever Venus is, she gives beauty. Women would love to have her in Libra, because that gives the whole body beauty. If Venus is in the face, in like where you have Jim, Marilyn Monroe has Venus exactly in the same degree as you have, and I see the Venus in her face. It's in her face. My niece Lily, my brother's daughter next door, turning 3 on the 29th of March, she also has Venus in the same degree, and her face is glowing with Venetian beauty. You also have Mars in Leo, which is in the heart. That's a very, very hot, fiery heart that you've got, Jim. Just like mine, my friend. Mars is hot and dry. Leo is hot and dry. So that's a very hot, dry heart. Sometimes it can be overbearing for other people. They just cannot handle the passion. but you will have amazing strength. If Mars is in Leo, it gives the body strength and the back, strong back. And you've also got some really nice placements of other planets. Jupiter in Aries, beautiful. Beautiful. Saturn in Aquarius, there you go. That's a domicile. You've got 5 points out of that one. And you also have a T-square. And usually you only need 3 stars to participate in a 3-square. You have 5 stars participating in this T-square. They are Saturn in Aquarius, squaring with the Sun and Mercury in Taurus, so it's a fixed sign T-square. And then you've got Mars and Uranus pretty much making the other edge of the triangle. So there's a lot of participants in that. It's very important when you've got a T-square in your chart. You know that your life is going to be full of, well, depending on the house, and I won't know which houses these planets are in because I don't know the time you were born, but it could be a life of danger, a life of toil, hardships, challenges. If you've got a T-square in your chart, you can rest assured, because that's half of a grand cross. And a grand cross, can be a real little curse. But this doesn't necessarily mean this is bad. It's not bad or good. It just is. You've chosen this dynamic energy to be in your life. There's action in this. And see, some people choose very, very soft charts, and they have a nice soft life. They don't really get a lot of experience. They're happy to be, and away they go. But some people have come here to do a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. And you can tell what you've come here to do by noticing where the planets are located in their houses. If there's a bunch of planets located in the 10th house, that means your career is going to be important to you. The end of days is going to be important to you. You're going to be, directing a lot of your attention towards how people are going to see you at the end of days, whether you're going to be a person respected with dignity and glory and distinctions and honour, or not, depending on what kind of planets are in that house. So this is the beauty of this science. It shows you your propensities and and the angles, so to speak, the drivers in your life, the true drivers. So you don't go off and ruin your life by following a career path that your daddy chose for you because your rich daddy knows best. I made it with money and my career, and you need to follow in my path if you want to be successful in this world. And really, your father may have been the worst role model of all. Your chart had all the angles from the day you were born, telling you where you should expend your energies and direct your path. It's all in the chart. Even when you don't know the time, there is so much information to glean. There you go.
Thanks, Santo.
Does that suit you? That suits you okay?
I totally related with it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about charts. You got the heavens testifying for you or against you, depends on the thing here. Now, there was a little announcement I did want to make, because this is very critical. You know how we're solution-oriented. We don't deal in the fear porn. Just a note from Laura Ann Wooldridge. She's done all the research on the opiates and fixing the kundalini, as it were, for those that are suffering from certain ailments, either a lack of certain things in the brain and what have you, or the way the system has ground you down, particularly those with PTSD or depression, EOD. So I'm to let anyone know anyone out there with PTSD or depression, EOD, that they can't feel as we do, and we're aware, and we're fixing it. So hang on, just hang on. And the people that are suffering in this are feeling like failures, and it can be devastating. But I need to assure you right now, and I will tell you, based on what I know of this individual and the research that she's done, and the absolute passion she comes at it with, when she says she's got it, she's got it. So just hang on, and we're going to get that information out. And that was the reason why I wanted to have a chat with you the other night, Santo, with you, myself, and Laura, because there's a lot of information that we really need to get out. And I'd made a plea on Facebook to get as many people friending her as possible, to network more. I know through one individual there have already been thousands of people affected positively with this news, and this is what we need to do. We need to bring everyone into the positive side of this. This is where the solutions are. They're not going to be out there knocking heads against useful idiots. You can check their chart if you want, but by their actions they're generally known. So enough of that crap. All right, this is about getting things solved, and that's what we're here to do. We are in an exponential manifestation time right now, that things are coming, and you can see it for yourself. Look around you. How many people in the last couple of weeks have you've talked to about some of these things? I'm talking to all you awakened individuals, and all of a sudden in the last couple, and they came at you and said, "Oh no, you're full of it, and you're full of it," only to turn around, in the last couple of weeks to kind of have that glimmer of, you know what? That thing you said, you were right. And that's all it takes. It just takes one seed to grab hold. And we have been casting countless seeds over the last number of years, and they are now taking hold. And we're seeing the fruits of these trees that have taken a bit of time to grow. But the orchard is full. And there is fruit everywhere, and seeds are just going exponential. I have a caller here with the phone number 111 area code, and the number is 111-1111. So just out of sheer curiosity, I'm just going to open that line and just check to make sure it isn't God that's calling. Hello? Was that good or what? Hello, are you there? Area code 111.
Hello?
Hello, yeah, we have you. Questions or comments?
Oh, yeah. No, this is Aaron, Kate. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Fantastic. I was going to call and have Santos do my birth chart.
Well, he might be on the call right now. Maybe ask.
Okay.
Are you in for it,
Santos, are you there?
Yeah, man. Yep, for sure. I just wanted to say...
Go ahead.
I wanted to. I'll do your chart. Get your details in a minute. Just wanted to finish off for Jim though.
Okay.
The ruler of his chart is Mars, and his lucky day is the second day of the moon in Cancer. So when the moon, get yourself a moon tracker. Just your north node Rahu is in Cancer, 22nd degrees. So that's when you're going to go into court. You have to and win. That's when you're going to, apply for a job and get it. So, all right. And your co-ruler is Mercury, just so that you know. So, Mars, you're all about action, Jim. Action.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, you're here to act. All right, so we're doing Aaron now, yeah?
Yeah, Aaron.
Go ahead, Kate.
No, that's what I was saying. Go ahead, give details and. Before you do that, I do want to make this one announcement because and I do love the fact that Santo will do these on the air at no charge. Absolutely, I do want people to know that you can get your chart read by Santo, and it is not expensive at all, and it's a means of helping him and letting him use his knowledge to. Help you out. I mean, I understand the benefit of it, knowing what I do about my own chart now, and it has been absolutely invaluable, and it has given me such a peace of mind that if you could, Santo, just let people know, well, get a hold of you through Skype or whatever. But if you could just let people know that, because I know we've never talked about this on the air, ever. I've never brought this up before, and I do want, yeah.
Yeah, I don't particularly have the service advertised anywhere because, first of all, I'm so busy researching, and anything I do other than researching is, well, I mean, astrology, reading someone's chart is going to help them, so I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm going to do it because, it will help people. But if you want to get the best out of me, leave me alone so I can research, because that's what I thrive on. Now, that's not to say if you don't have any funds to contribute to a good 1 hour or half hour reading, I can give you the basic stuff about your chart, but you have to stipulate that if you're writing to me, because some people say, can you do my chart? If I spend 10 minutes, even if I spend 10 minutes on it, it's the wrong way to go about this stuff. You've got to get to know yourself, and you need an hour, or at least a half an hour if you're really intelligent and you've already got good fundamental knowledge in astrology. So I'm very reluctant to just do someone's chart by telling them 3 or 4 things about their chart. Because then they will take, it's easy for them to take what they thought I said away with them rather than what I said and what I intended to say. So it's not a good thing practice. I'd rather sit down with someone at length and show them what's in their chart and teach them at the same time. So I don't advertise it because it takes me away from the
from what you do, and that's one of the things too, and that's why I know you haven't been doing that, because the worst thing that can happen is to have you away from research, and I understand that, because a lot of my day is spent wrapped up in being accessible. But for me, that is my purpose now. The research is done, and I have beautiful entities around me that only enhance that which I already have researched. So I have a very specific role. What you're doing, Santo, is bringing that final truth to the light, and I'm just going to do my Geminian role of communicator and getting the word out. So there you go.
Yeah, well done, exactly. But I know that I am much more valuable to everyone if I can continue putting some great information together. And I'll tell you what, I'm getting inspired for May for the documentary, because things are falling together nicely, and we're going to have a real good little documentary. It's going to be dealing with light.
It's going to change the world. So
it will. Yes.
So Aaron, what do you got?
Aaron.
Okay. December 10th, 1973 at 8:30 in the morning, and I was born in Pontiac, Michigan.
1973?
1973. December 10th.
Pontiac is spelled, are they Oakland, Michigan?
Pontiac is Eastern Standard Time. Yeah.
So what was the time again?
8:30 in the morning.
Beautiful. Day chart. Okay. So 10th of December, 1973, 8:30 a.m., Pontiac, Michigan.
Uh-huh.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta like when he does that.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, it's not bad at all. It's pretty good actually. Oh my goodness, Venus in the first house, but the Sun, it's a day chart, so you don't get all the virtues from Venus that you would like. If it were a night chart, see, Venus belongs to the day, the night sect, and she prefers the Sun to be below the horizon. So, but it's still pretty good. You've got Venus in the first house. That's love. That's you being a loving person, and she's in a humane sign. She's in Aquarius, so she's doing her humanity duties in love. You have a moon in Gemini, right on the descendant. Now that's important to note. If you've got planets on your angles, in fact you have, my goodness, you have very strong angles. Your ascendant is Sagittarius, where your sun is. Your sun is just above the ascendant, and it's 7 degrees higher above the ascendant degree, which means it can't really be considered to be on the ascendant. If it were like 5 degrees higher than the ascendant degree, you could still say that it was on your ascendant. But the sun is pretty close, hugging that angle. The moon, on the other hand, is right on the descendant. Now I'll explain what this means. This is incredible for the sun to be rising and the moon to be setting on the day you were born. So they are opposing each other. There's an opposition between the two, definitely, because the moon is pretty much directly opposite the sun. This is very significant. This is your mother and your father in your chart. The sun is your father, the moon is your mother. And so there's, well, put it this way, tension there either between them two or you toward them in respect to them. But that's not so much important as the fact that the moon is on top of that angle. Uranus is also right on your midheaven by 7 degrees, and Mars is also really, really close to your IMC. So this is a very, very angular chart. There's a lot of motion. Absolutely, there's so much angular motion in your life. You're charging forward. You're not sitting on your laurels. Very action person. Mars is in Aries, which is a domicile. There you've already got 5 solid points. Mars in Aries, just where he likes to be. He's the ruler of Aries. The sun in Sagittarius is always a blessing because the sun rules fire, and the sun is the day ruler. Just let me check that. Sagittarius, yep. The sun is the day ruler of Sagittarius, so that's also a very dignified sun on the ascendant. Very dignified. Now, Uranus in the 10th house in Libra. So this has to do with your career. Your job is not ordinary by any stretch of the imagination. It's your jobs that you take on, your career, your path is eccentric. It's revolutionary. It has to do with illumination. It has to do with individuality. So you're very individual in that respect, in your career, in your path, right? You're more towards career and working, not so much your spirituality. What else can I tell you? Your North Node is on the last degree of Sagittarius, and your North Node is right on your ascendant. Man, there is some powerful action in your chart, Aaron. The North Node on your ascendant. So there's your lucky day when the moon is in Sagittarius, opposite to where your moon is in Gemini. Directly opposite, brother. Directly opposite in the last day of Sagittarius is your lucky day. And where your moon is, that's your unlucky day. And you'll get, so you watch the moon. In fact, for everybody listening, if you have a moon tracker and you know where the moon is daily, and you know your chart and where the bad angles and aspects are on your chart, when the moon is transiting those spots, see how you feel. Pay attention. It might be the loss of distraction one day, which causes you to have accidents and cut yourself. It might be high concentration the next day. It might be mild depression one day. The moon is doing all of this. She's changing every day. The nature of every day, the moon is responsible. And so when you know where she's going in the chart, you'll be able to predict. You'll be able to see when you're going to have a low day.
Handy information, huh?
Yeah, it's very it's pure truth. So there's no, I mean, but I guess I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, that's all great. How do you use that through your life? Because it is about knowing yourself and getting to know yourself and knowing who you are and what you are and why you're here. But all those things basically tell you about your, I guess, personality and what your life is like, and then how can you use that so that you can, through the rest of your life.
I use it as a roadmap.
I guess,
Aaron, I use it strictly as a roadmap. And the things that resonate with me, I'm always astonished, especially after a few minutes chatting with Santo and hearing certain things about my chart that I didn't know. I kind of go, that means I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And when you get that certainty, that's priceless. It really is. And I did want to mention we do have another caller that has called in. I want to make sure we got a couple actually. So I'm making the lines hot. I'm going to open up. We had area code 414 called in. Who we got?
Hi, this is Jose.
Jose, how are you? Awesome.
I'm doing great.
And we have area code 214. I'm going to make your mic hot. Just going to bring some people in. And, wow, this board's lit up tonight. My email is going to be a mess with the Facebook posts that are going on right now. And we also have area code 773. So, Jose, you were there ahead of the others. So, questions or comments?
Yeah, I'll make this quick. I had sent in my information, looking for a reading. And after Santos explained, I've watched enough videos to really have the tools to look this up for myself. And I just wanted to thank him for opening up my view to that whole astrological sense of things. It's just something that I'd never taken seriously, and he put it in layman's terms and made it very easy to understand, and it made sense. So I love what you guys are doing, and I just wish you a good night.
Yeah, I'll leave your line open, so if you can mute, that would be great. And if not, if you want to jump in, we still got like a little less than half an hour here. But I want to get everybody in this call. This is why I like having open forums, because people actually show up and I get to hear from them. This is, I think Mary and Santo can attest to the fact that with I forget what it is in my 11th house. Oh, I've got a big gathering of planets in my 11th house, and that kind of makes me friendly, huh, Santo?
Well, I forget which planets. Let me just check, because it depends on the planet. If Mars is there, that means that's how you act toward friends, and that's the kind of friends that you seek. Martial, active friends, not friends that are going to be sitting on their bums, and that do nothing. You want, action people. if Mars is there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Now, let me just see if I can find yours. Now, I did want to say to Aaron, though, the ruler of his chart is Mercury. The Sun is in the 18th degree of Sagittarius. They are the terms of Mercury. And your Moon is in Gemini, which, if you know how to tell the ruler of the chart from the Moon, you know that the ruler of your chart is Mercury. So that's a double indication that Mercury is the ruler of your chart. Which means you should be applying yourself to your intellect, brother. Really follow the intellect. Follow the higher faculties of the intellect. And Mercury is well placed in the 11th house, Aaron. And so, let me see. Mercury in the 11th house will make the natives intelligent and effective in all kinds of professions, men to whom important enterprises are entrusted. Higher positions are indicated if Jupiter is in favourable aspect to Mercury, which you don't have, but you do have a favorable Venus, so it's pretty similar. So you want to use that. You really want to use. Yeah, that Mercury in the 11th house is a big asset for you. And that's for Aaron, because that will give him great benefit to know that Mercury is a very strong ruler in his chart.
Yeah, it's a good one. Now, just a quick reminder to people, if your phone or line is open, you're on the air, and we're getting some background noise, so if you could just keep that in mind. We're hearing everything. I've got a really good headset. What was I going to say there? Oh, quick question. Will you have a couple of minutes after the show to, Laura just tagged me, to have a chat with her? Santo?
Yeah. I will have a few minutes. Yep.
Okay, good. We got that covered. Area code 214. Questions or comments?
Hey, Kate. This is Drew. I've been having some issues getting in and out of Skype and trying to find y'all's shows and stuff. But I've been trying to get a hold of Tammy and get some kind of legal stuff going. But I've learned a lot from Santos as well, man. You awakened me to a ton of stuff, man. I can't thank you enough, but I've been awake for about 2 or 3 years, maybe longer. I don't know. It's kind of been a blur in a sense. But if you want to give me a reading, I'll shoot whatever you need me to shoot at you.
And just so you know, Drew, you've got my Skype contact, yes?
I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm actually connected to you, but I can do it real fast if you want.
Okay, katie.renee.thompson. And I'll get you into Tammy's room and get you hooked up with all the right people you need. And then Santo can do a quick read on you. Just before we go there, Santo, I'll give you the spelling of that as well, Drew. KATIE.RENEE.THOMPSON. My Skype handle is Cygnus Trumpets, and I'm a hot blonde. Gotta keep it light, baby.
I'm not matching anything.
Oh.
KATIE.
Renee.Thompson. RENEE.THOMPSON.
Is there a dot between Katie and Renee?
Yes. Katie.Renee.Thompson.
Yeah, it's not bringing up anything.
Yeah, that's normal. A lot of people are for some reason have a hard time finding me on Skype. I wonder why. You can try Catherine Renee, but Katie.Renee.Thompson is my actual Skype. And
I'm already in one of Tammy's training rooms. So.
Okay. I'll find you in there and send you a request. Don't worry about it. So.
Okay. Cool.
I did want to check with area code 773. Guys, we got a lot of background noise. Can you please, this is really driving me nuts. Mute out, or I'll just have to mute it. I don't like muting people on the board. I want my panel open for everybody. So if you could work with me on that, just mute out on your end, because it really is distracting, and it steps on what people are trying to say. So I love you. Just mute if you can, or tell everyone around you to shut up. Anyway, area code 773.
Yes, hi. How you doing? First time caller. Highly interested in what I got connected with through the Resonance Project. Somebody posted it, and I guess maybe Syncrenicity is at play here. My name is also Jose, and I'd love to hear maybe a reading. I was wondering with Santo how this goes into play with maybe what's called life cycles. I came across an author by the name of Angel Carlton, and I was a little worried because it talked about me scattering my energies. I just wanted to see what Santos' thoughts were and maybe get a reading. Maybe I could get some in-depth explanation as to what's been going on.
Okay, well, we should have just about enough time for both you guys. So we'll start with Drew.
Hey, didn't we have someone before that? I thought there was another guy before that.
Not that I know of.
No. Okay.
Yeah, Drew. Yeah, I know. I like to keep. That's the thing about juggling this many people right now. Drew, what's your information for Santo?
Well, I've never had this before, so what do you need?
Date of birth, time, place.
Okay, I don't know the time, but it's 3/14/77, and I was born in Garland, Texas, in a hospital that didn't deliver babies.
Isn't that interesting?
I know, right?
Well, hang on. Can you say that slower? Start with the date.
March 14th,
Sure.
77.
And it was in Garland, Garland, Texas.
Yeah, Southern boy.
Texan.
You got it.
Texas.
And this time we have the Alamo. Just letting you know. Santa Ana does not stand a chance. We win.
I know, right? I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. We all are, and we're keeping this energy flying forward. So while Sando's doing that, and Jose, we'll get to you as quickly as we can. Like I said, I don't like rushing these things, and we can go just so people know. I'll do my thank yous right now so we can just roll this. Critical Mass Radio, thank you so much for the platform. Paul, Lisa, and the crew at Critical Mass. We couldn't do it without you. And for anyone listening, if you feel the urge, criticalmassradio.co.uk, there's a donate button. They donated this platform to us, and this platform is about $1,200 a year. So that was to keep us on the air. So you have no idea the gratitude we have for that. So if you can do that, it would be great. We are likely going to roll into the recording for the archive, so that takes the pressure off, the clock here. But just so people know, we're on the air for about another 17, 18 minutes. And once we go off the air, we will still be going. So I would urge people, when and if we roll past the hour, to grab the archive, which it's available usually about 10 minutes after we're done. So just keep an eye on it. Same link. Download this episode. When you right-click that, save link as, and then you'll have the show, and you can listen to the last part that you won't get on the air. So there you go. Take her away, Santo.
Okay, so 14th of March. Your Mercury is in conjunction with the Sun, so that will tell you a lot about your. Usually, in some systems, the ruler of the chart is the planet that's closest to the Sun. So it tells you how important Mercury is for you. And your Moon is in Capricorn. So again, as with Aaron, I think it was. Let's see. Yeah, Aaron was Pisces Moon, Taurus Sun. This is Pisces Sun and Capricorn Moon. So it's the water and earth thing going on again. But again, both feminine signs. So this is, this is a polarity that is being suggested here. Because men who are born in feminine signs, earth or water signs, also have what Thomas H. Burgoyne says is a magnetic polarization. So these are people who are more receptive to other people's ideas than, say, people born under a male sign, whether it be females or males. Like you and I, for instance, Kate, we're both of the masculine sign. You're Gemini, Mary. So that's fire and air. And so these people born under masculine signs more or less only accept people's thoughts and stuff if it suits them. So more sort of selective. The magnetic types of the feminine signs, it's much easier to bombard them with your stuff because they're feminine and it's receptive, you see. So they receive. The masculine signs at first reject, unless there's something, softness in the individuality to pull that down and be more receptive. But generally, by, all things being equal, that's how you work out the signs. So there's a lot of feminine energy here in your chart, which is nice. It's beautiful. It's a very balanced chart. Your North Node is in Libra. So when the Moon is in Libra, there's where Rahu's, the head of the dragon, is. And the head of the dragon has all the treasures and all the good gems, and most astrologers would agree that the nodes is where all the action is happening. So you do really want here's a handy tip, folks. Get yourself a moon tracker and follow the calendar of the moon, because it's the one that will sync you in with your biorhythm. because the moon's days are always the same. They're always the same. But if you're going by a solar calendar, she slips back 2 days every month. For instance, okay, my good day was on the 21st of March, the equinox, and I had a great day. Whew! And it spilled over to the 22nd. Okay, I can go into detail about why it was a great day. When 14 days earlier, when my moon was in Keto, the tail of the dragon, the south node, I was still shaking in bed, flat on my back, poisoned with Teflon C8 fumes, toxic fumes. But next month, my good day won't be the 21st, because that's a solar month, and they're wrong. They're not lunar months. But it'll be the 18th of April. So you've got to drop it back a couple of days, sometimes 2, sometimes 3. So that's why it'd be handy. One day we will have, on this planet, when all things are peaceful and everyone is self-determined and we're all living in bliss, we will have a solar calendar and a lunar calendar. There'll be 2 calendars. That's how it was supposed to be in the first place. The Romans fooked that up. That's why we are under a Julio-Gregorian calendar. I mean, the proof lies in the pudding, right? England did not change to celebrating January the 1st, the Roman concept of starting New Year. They did not buy into that till 1752. They were starting their year at March equinox. In fact, on Ladies' Day, the 25th of March, a day after my birthday. The reason you do that, you see, is because you allow for the 3 or 4 days from the 21st, from the equinox. And this phenomena happens on the solstices too. For instance, 21st of December, we know that's the solstice. And then 5 days later, the sun is born. Off he goes, back to the northern climes, to the northern solstice. So, and the same thing happens in March. The 21st of March is the equinox. The sun gets crossified, crosses over, passes over into the sign of the Lamb. We go off to church and eat the Paschal Lamb, as above, so below. And then on the 25th is the beginning, because the sun appears to not move on the horizon for 3 days at the equinoxes and the solstices. It's an astronomical phenomenon, and only astronomers and astrologers know about it. So, you know, your average churchgoer's got no idea. But see, the English didn't buy into this Roman calendar till 1752, which shows how persistent Romans have been. They are a destructive force, and they have inflicted and subjected us to this solar calendar, Jesus calendar, which is Jupiter Zeus, and it's a solar calendar, and it throws us off kilter with the moon, and we never ever perceive the rhythms. And this is why you've got a lot of dumb sheeple out there, because they're not seeing the rhythms. Once you are taught the rhythms by following the moon, now you can see what's going on. And the Roman calendar denies you this gift. Denies each and every one of us this beautiful gift of knowing our mother, the soul of the universe, the moon. We're detached from our mother. We've been pulled away from our mother by being forced to obey a solar calendar. It's the Julio-Gregorian calendar. One was a dictator and one was a pope, which would suggest something like pedophilia to me.
Okay.
Anyway, that was a sorry about that, Aaron. Was that Aaron?
No, Drew.
Drew, yeah. Okay, so there you go, Drew. There's you. Drew?
Yep. Great.
No, again, that's the whole thing, and people can take charts one way or the other. What it is it's an observational tool, and the thing is, I know what my flaws are in my chart, and those are the things that I work on. And it's great. You can stand and look at all your strengths all day long. Apparently, with my chart, I want the whole world to be my friend, and I love everybody. I do, and definitely a social butterfly, and that's like bingo in my chart. There's other things that I had to take care of that presented themselves, and some things that were in my chart that I needed to take care of never existed in it, like in my life. And it's like, okay, well, I actually never had to confront that, and as soon as you become aware of it, then it's like, there it is, it's out of the way. So that's the thing, it's
yeah, but I'm very aware of I almost in a sense study my own mind, my own actions, kind of how I feel, how I respond. I kind of research into myself as far as where it stems from. I'm very aware of pretty much everything I do. I mean, with all the research I've done throughout the years, it's made me have a unbelievably open mind, even within myself, to where I can figure out exactly what's going on within me that's causing me to be a certain way, or react a certain way, or act a certain way, or feel a certain way. It's kind of crazy.
Well, that to me is a very nurturing feminine aspect, and a very powerful one, because the hardest thing that people have to do is to actually look within themselves. And when people do that, it's showing the willingness to look at ourselves so that we can interact better with others around us. That's a very caring thing for self, and even more so for those around you, because the whole idea there is that when we become better at understanding ourselves and how we interact with people, that is an infinite love source flowing out, and it's a beautiful place to be. So it doesn't surprise me.
Right on.
Doesn't surprise me. Oh, what do we got? We got about 7 minutes. We'll roll past the hour here, but we have Jose.
Yes.
Let her rip.
Great point you're making about actually maybe keeping yourself ignorant of what's out there, that maybe self-love. I guess you really have to do some hard work on yourself before you can love others. So yes, I'm excited to see what Santos might have to say. My birthday is February the 4th. That's 2/4 of 1966. No time. Thinking maybe 3:15, maybe in the afternoon there, early afternoon. Central Time of Chicago, Illinois.
Okay. 4th of February, 1966. I've put 3:30 p.m. Chicago, Illinois. Is that it?
Yes. Yes, Santos.
Okay. And guys, all the other guys, I've got your charts still open. So if you want to know any of your medical astrology, that is what you might want to focus on. I can do that while I've got your pages open. But that all of you guys, every one of you that I've done, except for the first guy, who was that now? Anyway, but all other three guys, you might want to look at that, your medical things. Okay, so and it's easy to work out roughly, generally, without having to be a biochemist or a doctor. Now, where you see red lines pointing in your chart to whatever part of that body, you know that Aries is the head, Taurus is the neck, Gemini is the lungs. So if there's a red line pointing to Gemini, that would suggest something in the lung area, or organs having to do with Mercury. And you can look up, there's lists on the internet, you can tell, you go into astrological sites and they'll deal in this. But if, say, for instance, who am I speaking to? Whose chart am I doing now?
Jose,
okay. Your moon is in Leo, and the moon is opposing the Sun and Venus in your chart. Now, that's the heart. You have a Leo moon. So the moon is in Leo, in the heart. This is the heart. And the first 3 degrees of Leo, basically, the first decan of Leo has to do more with the heart than the blood. So there's something there. Now, you need to probably see magnesium phosphate is the cell salt for Leo. Probably that will help. That will boost that up. But just roughly looking at the rest of your chart, there doesn't seem to be indicators that your health is going to be a concern. There's nothing in the 6th house, right? So that's a good indicator. But I can do your medical, all right? So I just did that as an example. For the rest of you other guys that I did, you've got quite a few red lines. And you can do this yourself. You can just check generally. Just check where the red lines are pointing and what part of the body are they pointing to. Pisces is the feet, Aries is the head.
A quick jump in, Santo. We got just over a minute to go. We're going to roll into the recording. So just letting people out there listening know. There you go. Carry on. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Again, we've got a chart where planets are hugging the angles. So a lot of dynamic energy here. And one would be the moon and the other would be Venus. Well. That would suggest heartache in love. Venus right on the descendant. Lots of heartache, brother. There's been some heartache there. I know. I've done the charts of people that have had a Venus on the descendant there. It's not good. But you've got sunshine in the 7th house too. That's hope. Well, what else? So you've got Aquarius. You're an Aquarium. You've got a Cancer ascendant and a Leo moon. So your North Node is 1st degrees of Gemini. So hang on to your moon tracker there. When the moon is up there with Rahu, and that's a beautiful place too for your North Node to be, because the North Node exalts in Gemini. So this is a natural exaltation you've got here, brother. Jupiter is also in Gemini. He's not so happy there, and keep that in mind because Jupiter is currently in Gemini. Not happy. Doesn't like it. Opposite Sagittarius, his ruling house. They never like the opposite sign. So, what else can we glean from your chart? The ruler of your chart is Virgo. Mercury. Yep, there are 2 indicators that suggest Mercury is the ruler of your chart. Jose, so you've got the intellect. And, yeah, so... And the sun is also in the terms of Mercury. So 3 of the indicators are pointing to Mercury. Mercury is very, very strong in your chart. In fact, it's conjuncting the sun. So it basically gives intellect to your Aquarian nature, and a lot of it. But your Venus is not happy, brother. Yeah. Yeah, the mother energy and the girlfriend energy in your life is disturbed. But there's it's that there is hope in your chart too. There's good things suggesting that that's not going to be a problem. There you go.
Well, I'd like to get some further in-depth discussion with you. So if you can give some more information again, I'll be listening to the recordings, and I'm excited to get some more things to kind of hack away at what I need to do to make the best out of my life of why I'm here.
Yeah.
There's a sign of wisdom right there. Someone's already in the higher faculties. So that's exactly what the charts are for. You know, and I mean, we have good and bad in all of our charts. There's no question. And these are the designs. We come here in the world of lack and loss in this beautiful holographic physical universe that we play in, because only here can we develop ourselves spiritually with the challenge, and that's what we're here to do.
Yeah, Jose, your chart is definitely a very spiritual chart. Saturn in the 9th house, Mars in Pisces. Mars loves the water. In fact, he's the ruler of the water, and you get 3 points for Mars being in Pisces. You've got the moon on the ascendant. Michael Jackson had the moon on the ascendant, and that guarantees you some glory. But she's a struggling moon, brother. She's posing. It's a full. You're born on a full moon. Well, just shy of a full moon. Probably a few hours shy of a full moon, and that's basically disturbing your father-mother energy in your chart. You can have great parents still, but it would have been much, much better if that wasn't there. Or at least the relation. Yeah, at least the relationship between you and your parents could have been a lot better if that wasn't there. Okay. That's what happens when you're born on a full moon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to hear these things because they're so enlightening. Yeah. It starts to put pieces together, all these puzzles of things not knowing what's been going on, and it's exciting to hear because it's kind of like taking loads off of you. Being kind of like what I had mentioned before, being scattered. You don't know where to look, what's even going on. Yeah, just something else. Thank you.
It goes right back to what Santa was saying earlier about the Romans. When you stop and look at how much of this information has been, we're talking completely vilified throughout history. Astrology, it's sorcery, and all the rest of this. They vilify it, demonize it, to hide it because they don't want us knowing who we are. And the thing is, all you had to do was look up, and the heavens will testify for you.
This is the science of the sympathies. We are in sympathy with the gods. These are the gods, and they are just known as gods because gods can mean archetypes. It can mean angels. It can mean spiritual forces. It can mean the mind of God, thinking. But we have sympathies with them. If you were able to see the true glory of the sun, you would see a body. You would see that you on top of standing, you are on top of the surface of Earth, are actually in the body of the sun. We are not outside of the sun. We are in the heliosphere, and that is the body of the sun. It's a magnetic body. It's a glorious creature. The sun, this sun, Michael, the Archangel, Jesus Christ, our Saviour, is a glorious, glorious creature. But he's been a naughty boy too. It's the demiurge. He's got a two-faced nature. There's good and there's bad. But it is our Saviour. We go back through the sun, back to cause. We need to go back through the heart of the sun. There is an Italian genius who died about, 15 years ago. You can look him up on YouTube. He used to work with Marconi for 10 years. His name is Pierluigi Igina. Igina is spelled Eghina. And he revealed, before he died, he said, in the center of the sun is a heart. There is a heart palpitating in the center, in the core of the sun. And it beats at the same rate as the sun in our breast, in the human chest. We are connected to the sun. It is our Saviour. It's our big brother. And we are also dwelling there on a higher plane. And so we have sympathies. Our bodies are also beautiful light bodies. We have a magnetic aura, a toroidal field, which extends for yards, and then there's another one which extends for miles beyond that, and then there's another one beyond that. And we have sympathy with these planets. When they suffer, we suffer. When they are on the harsh angles, we are disturbed. When Mercury retrogrades, things go wrong. When the moon is transiting all of your hard aspects on your natal chart, you're fighting with your spouse. You're fighting with your children. You know, you're driving aggressively on the freeway and you don't know why, because yesterday you were nice and calm. And we are ignorant of these sympathies, totally ignoring them, because we've got McDonald's and we've got wars to be distracted with. Oh, and we've got summonses. We didn't, because we were doing 4 miles over the speed limit. The Vatican has got us so entrapped in bullshit that all of this other glorious stuff of the star language has gone totally astray, and we have suffered immensely.
Hey, Santos.
Yeah.
Santos. Hey, how do you explain? I've been with my girlfriend for 3 or 4 years, something like that. It's been a while. We really don't think about all that stuff. We just kind of be with each other. And her birthday's the 10th of March. Mine's the 14th of March, and we literally have not fought one time, not once. How do you explain it?
Oh yeah. What? The 10th of March and the 4th of March. Oh.
No, the 14th.
14th of March. Oh, yeah. Okay, so still in the same deacon, really. Still in the same chariot. So, of course, your best partner you will find is a partner of your own sign. And especially the ruler of her chart is the same as the ruler of your chart. See, my marriage was with a Piscean, ruled by Jupiter. My second wife, Hiromi, my current wife, she's Sagittarian, ruled by Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is in the 7th house in my chart, in Pisces, in the house of marriage. And Jupiter is the ruler of my chart. So you can see what's going on. I'm looking for Jupiterian partners. I'm looking for happy, magnanimous, correct-minded types, because Jupiter likes to think of himself as, correct in his judgments. So it's all there. I mean, knowing astrology helps me to understand exactly whom I've chosen for partners, and I'm looking for Jupiter. I'm not looking for a smart, intellectual, say, mercurial type, because my Mercury is really bad in my chart. He's the least dignified planet in my chart. So I know that I'm looking for happy girls, and Hiromi's the happiest person I've ever known. So, because it will reflect my desires. Jupiter is my ruler. So happiness is what I'm seeking, more than love, more than intellect, more than whatever Saturn indicates and whatever the other planets indicate, Mars. So you need to know these things. But certainly your best person to marry would be someone of your own sign. And then you look at others of your own element. So an Arian like myself is well suited to Sagittarian, particularly a male Arian with a female Sagittarian partner. You can't get a more perfect combination. For an Arian, if you're looking for a spouse, go to all the Sagittarian girls you know. Start there. Then go to Gemini. Then go to Leo. And then Libra. And then the last one would be Aquarius. Sorry for all you Aquarians, but because you guys have got Saturn as ruler, Mars does not like that part of that connection. But I've exhausted all of the male signs. So if you're born under a male sign, go for male signed partners, all things being equal. If you're attracted to someone that of the opposite gender sign, that's fine. That's because the ruler of their planet is really relating, the ruler of their chart is really relating to the ruler of your chart. Or you might have the same moon sign, or ascendant. So check those things, because all things being equal, that order that I gave you, if you're Arian, you go for looking for a Sagittarian partner, okay? then Gemini, then Leo, then Libra, then Aquarius. That's it.
Well,
I
say we covered a few gauntlets tonight, so we still have Mark here, don't we?
Yeah, you do, but you're going to lose me because I got the call.
Okay, well, no, I just wanted to say thank you, and I want to get a hold of you as to set up a show dedicated with you. So, are you on Skype?
I'm on Skype. I'm not a citizen. Is the handle.
Okay.
You can email me mfishman at OSR.
I'll just send you a Skype request and we'll get that done. I hate email. I go through hundreds every day and it's like drives me batty, so I avoid it like the plague.
Okay.
But so I'm not a citizen is your Skype handle?
Not a citizen.
Oh, not a citizen is your Skype, and I'll tag you.
Word.
Yep, and we'll get hooked up and get you sorted out for a 2-hour dedicated I'mNotACitizen.com show because, as you can tell, we have a fair bit in common.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, we do.
Oh yeah.
Path, brother.
No, it was a beautiful treat to have you, and I'm even happier you got Santo to do your chart. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. That was very cool. He's so right on too.
Well,
I love
actually,
getting in front of people and talking about this.
There you go, and we're doing exactly what we're designed to do. D sine wave, it's something about sine wave, Santo. Is that important?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is my sarcasm getting better? I'm Irish. I take a lot of pride in my sarcasm. But no, that's freaking awesome. By the way, Santo, it's still your birthday here. It's still the 24th here, so enjoy. You've got another 2 hour and 3/4. So.
Oh, I'm loving it. A male peaks out once he's done 7 times 7 years. So after your 49th year, a male is in his peak in terms of philosophy, syncretism, wisdom. So, and the 7 years from 49 to 56 are the peak years. So, looking forward to that.
Game on. No, it's lots of wonderful stuff. This world is changing at such a rapid pace right now. It's just glorious to behold it. And I think I've had Facebook requests during the show. So, people are listening, guys. They're hearing the truth, and I'm loving that fact more than anyone could. I have no words for it. It is that amazing. So, and I'm glad. Thank you so much, Santo, for doing so many charts tonight. That was certainly not the plan. We were kind of going to go into other things, but here's the thing: when you're dealing with you're dealing with the most basic truth of all, getting to know thyself, and that comes long before the fictitious name of the crucifixion. They even tell you, right? The cross fiction. It's crazy. And now we have the truth, and we have a better understanding of why they hid it so well. But no more. No more. And I know, Santo, there are many of us, and I'll put you at the top of the list there, that will fight to the death for this truth to make sure that mankind finally gets it back. This is our destiny.
Oh yeah.
We go home.
Rest assured, there's no turning back. The path of light is irresistible. There's no amount of gold that can seduce you. There's no amount of fiat currency. There's no amount of fame. There is no amount of anything. This is our destiny. Once you get a sniff of your higher consciousness and the potential therein, once you get a sniff of the fact that you are God and you own the universe and you can return to that glory because that's your right and that's who you are, you're not going to be messing with it with the bar. Hey, I've got a motto. Put the bar behind bars. Put the priest...
I like it.
Hang on, I haven't stopped. Vanquish the Vatican. Put the bar behind bars and put the priest in prison. That rhymes, and once you've dealt with those three, we can have a party.
Yeah, down under. We've already got that manifest, and it's that's what I'm working towards. So, and tell me
I'm not wrong. Tell me
You're
I'm
not.
not wrong. You get rid of the bar, and come on, shouldn't they be behind bars? I think so.
Absolutely.
They've betrayed 7 million innocent people that are languishing in prison now, getting raped and drugged and abused and threatened and depressed and suicidal. 7 million people in American prisons. That's the latest figures released. 7.2 million people, all put in there by foreign agents called the bar. They should be behind bars. And the priests, what about the priests? Shouldn't they be in prison?
Yep.
Pedophilia is inexcusable. Why is it that the Christian corporate churches are the last haven left in the universe for pedophile protection? If you're a pedophile, the only place you'll be protected now from prosecution is in Christian churches. That's it.
Yep.
And the Vatican, what do we need it for? Anything?
No.
No.
I think the Vatican would make really good homeless shelters for people, and take all those vestiges and robes that they love to adorn themselves with, and get those out to the people that are cold and in need of clothing versus these guys. I think that's a better thing, personally.
Mm-hmm.
But on that happy note, I'm thinking it's 20 after now. We'll get cut off shortly anyway, but I know there's people chomping at the bit to get this show downloaded. And as I said earlier, I wanted to just get into a three-way call with Laura and yourself. We'll go over a couple of things very quickly. And we need to hook up with Tracy as well with the work that she's doing and the people she's connecting up as well. So we got lots of really cool things happening.
Oh, yeah, Tracy. Yeah. Oh, yeah, good.
Oh,
excellent.
Yeah. So I'm on that trail too. So I'm at my helm. I'm just doing my Geminian communicator thing. But thank you all so much, Santo and Tony, Mark, Jim, Jose. We got two of you guys. We got Drew. We have Aaron. I don't know. I'm missing somebody. Who else called in? I might have got everybody. Just maybe. I just might have. Anyway, well, thank you all for being a part of your show. It's your platform. And again, thanks to Critical Mass Radio Online, Paul, Lisa, and the crew, so much for giving this opportunity. And don't forget, we're on QL Television tomorrow night. I'm hoping to have Dean Clifford with me. And I know, Santo, if you're going to be around, that would be a great call because Tony's back, and we can have a beautiful interview tomorrow. And back on the air with Karen Quinn Tostado on Tuesday night show. And we got lots of beautiful stuff lined up for everybody, so stay tuned, and we'll promise to bring you everything we can in the ways of truth so that it resonates and we get this planet solved once and for all. Fair? I think so, too. Anyway, much love to everybody. Thank you all so much for being a part of the call tonight because it means a lot. So you guys take care, and we'll catch you back on Critical Mass Radio here on Tuesday night, QL Television tomorrow night with Johnny Guzman. Take care.